Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and it's the Preakness, which is the second leg of the Triple Crown. Myself and BlackJack will be going through all the runners and riders. Not sure there's going to be too many runners, though. We told you about the Kentucky Derby. I think we was near enough bang on. We got the favourite beaten. But if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that I'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And next week, it's a PGA at Kiawah Island, which is a massive golf course close to my heart. So, but we'll talk about that on Monday afternoon, BlackJack. And we look at these runners and riders at the Preakness, and we have to have a wry smile.
I suppose so, right? We can either laugh or cry, right?
Right. They're not grade one horses, these. Or the majority are not. Let's not be too crabby.
Listen, there's one, maybe two grade one horses in here. I think one, though.
And I believe that we're both coming from the same hymn sheet, that we don't believe the Kentucky Derby winner and current favourite for the Preakness is one of them.
No, I do not. I absolutely don't. Listen, Medina Spirit winning. Obviously, all of the controversy that's swirling around this horse, I'm not going to get into that. It's above my pay grade to pass judgment on. But Medina Spirit winning that race was a shock to me. But
again, we can give ourselves a little pat on the back because we said that this is not like a normal Kentucky Derby. There's no standout, so we get the favourite beat. There was 20 horses across the track. Well, that tells you another thing, that they're all in it because it's like a lottery. The first to last was 45, over a furlong and a half, maybe 2 furlongs. It was a crazy standard of race. Now we're looking at the second leg of the Triple Crown. And for me, there's only one horse in it.
I'm totally with you. This is an underwhelming field for a Preakness. The horses that finished 2, 3, 4, 5 are not in this race from the Kentucky Derby. A lot of the names that we had talked about, the known agendas, the Hot Rod Charlies, the Rock Your Worlds, they all skipped this race. This is a field of 10, but if we're being honest, it's a field of 2, in my opinion.
You found another one?
Well, I mean, listen, there's only one way that the horse we both like loses this race, and that's if there's a strategy issue involved. But otherwise, I don't think
there is. This has always been the plan.
I don't either. I think that this is as close to a slam dunk as you're going to find in a Grade 1 race.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And just in case everyone's not guessed it already, we are talking about Bob Baffert's horse, Concert Tour, currently around the plus 200. I think you can get plus 250, but I think we both expect maybe the horse will go off favourite, and maybe it will be the only Bob Baffert runner come Saturday evening.
Entirely possible it's the only Baffert runner. Medina Spirit is subject to pre-race testing now as a result of his agreement with the Maryland Jockey Club. Would not shock me if the horse didn't qualify for this race based on the testing. But even if Medina Spirit is there, listen, I was high on Concert Tour several months ago. I thought this was the best of the Baffert horses. I liked Concert Tour over even Life is Good. I think this horse is a monster. I think this horse wins. I think this horse would have won the Kentucky Derby had he been in it. And now we've seen that race. I think he wins this race by a pole.
Okay, but we've got to obviously fill the frame. Let's start off the best of our ability. And I'm just going to chuck you under the bus and leave you on your own. And I'll be the presenter. And you can be the expert. Because in one, we've got Ram at plus 3,000.
Okay. Listen, Dwayne Lucas, it's always nice to see Dwayne Lucas in these races. Yeah. And Ram has won 2 in a row and has improving speed figures in both races. But we are talking about a significant step up here. I mean, Ram would have to take a monumental leap forward to win this race. I think you are just you're betting on nostalgia if you're betting Ram.
Okay, and in 2 we got Keep Me in Mind at plus 1,500. Half the odds of Ram, but not necessarily half the horse.
No.
Or double the horse.
No. I mean, Robertino Diodoro has been very hot training lately. He's been winning a lot of races. Keep Me in Mind is a horse to me that if I were playing a try or a super in this race, I'm going to use him in the back half of it. But in terms of him hitting first or second, it's not going to happen. I do think the horse can hit the board in this field, but I'm not going to put him on top of anything.
So maybe number 2, we'll put him down on maybe 4th. And then we've got Medina Spirit, who are coming out of 3, which I don't personally think he runs. And if he does run, I don't think he wins. So I'm not interested in him at plus 180. If he runs, then obviously you've got to be saying that he's going to fill the frame.
I will assume for the purposes of our conversation that he runs in this race, although I think your point is very well taken. If he runs, this race to me is Baffert 1-2. It's Concert Tour and Medina Spirit up front. I think at the head of the stretch, they're neck and neck, and Concert Tour pulls away. I think that Medina Spirit, though, is going to be there with him every step of the way for the first, certainly half mile, probably 3/4 of a mile. He'll be there with him. When I look at Medina Spirit versus Concert Tour, they're just 2 very different animals. I mean, Concert Tour has the look of a horse you want to see in these races. He's performed well in the prep races. I think that he's got the typical Baffert work pattern you want. Concert Tour has everything going. He's also got Mike Smith on him, which, I love Mike Smith on a Baffert horse in these races. I like the Concert Tour is on the outside as well. Medina Spirit,
me too. Clear run to the bend. Clear run.
This post could be a little tricky for Medina Spirit, but having said that, again, if you're playing tries, supers, even exactas here, you need to use Medina Spirit.
Yeah, definitely. Got to be up there getting straight. Listen, he's got nothing round him with the early that he's got. So you definitely expect, if he's there, that he's going to be filling the maybe 1, 2, 3 spot, maybe give a lead to Concert Tour, or they just run alongside like they're doing a little bit of homework. What about Crowded Trade at 10-1, which is plus 1,000?
I think that this horse is really, like, the odds on this is surprising to me. I would have had this horse 20, 30-1. I don't like anything about this horse, if we're being honest. I think that Chad Brown has a more interesting horse later in this race that I'd be involved in. It's not Crowded Trade.
No, it's certainly not. Now, here's a horse who's plus 500, coming out of 5, may well finish 5th because I fancy he's going to be doing his best work once the race is over, and that's Midnight Bourbon. He was 60 lengths off of the pace. He finishes 6th and nowhere near 6th, paddling, staying on, whatever you want, plodding on, whatever you want to call, and now he's basically the favourite outside of the Baffert 2.
Flash, if you remember leading into the Kentucky Derby, there was a horse that everyone was talking about, Bezos, right? It was the workout darling. Midnight Bourbon has become that horse for the Preakness. People are saying, well, if the Bafferts don't win it, this horse could. No, he can't. No, he can't. This is not a grade 1 horse. He's a nice horse. He'll win some nice races in his career, but this is not a Preakness winning horse. I'm sorry. People are hyping this horse. You are trying to find something that isn't there.
Yeah.
He's just not going to be the caliber of Medina Spirit or Concert Tour. He's not. If you're betting this horse on top, you are lighting your money on fire.
Exactly. And there's so many of them. I mean, there's 10 runners at the moment. I expect there to be less, but it is one of those where if you are going to include any of these horses, just do it in the box and trifectas and things like that, on super tries. In fact, don't box it, because if there's the 2 of them at the top of the market turn up, then just go 1, 2, and don't even bother going reverse. Just go Concert to beat Medina. What about Ron Bauer? Plus 1,200, right in the middle of the pack, coming out of 6.
Again, we're getting 12-1 on a horse that's winning out at Golden Gate. I mean, like, what are we talking about here? Like, when is the last time a horse that wins races at Golden Gate Fields comes and wins a Preakness? It doesn't happen. No. You're getting odds on horses in this race. This is the opposite of the Kentucky Derby, right? Like, in the Kentucky Derby, you see a horse like Mandaloon at 27-1 because there's so many quality horses in the field. This is the opposite. You're getting these horses bet down to nothing because there's just nothing here. And
is that because everyone's searching? It's basically, like when something's so obvious that it's staring you in the face. We've all done it. We go looking for so-called value when it's the opposite.
Flash, you have hit on one of my core gambling philosophies, and that is that value only exists if you cash the ticket, right? It's like betting against Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. It's just a bad idea.
Why have you brought that up?
It's a bad idea, right? It's just a bad idea. So we're looking at this race, and there are going to be some people that say, well, Rombauer, maybe he can go there. Maybe this European shipper we're going to talk about next. Guys, put the money in your pocket. It's a waste of time.
It is. And sorry that we're not we're being as enthusiastic about this race as we possibly can.
Listen, I'm not going to tell you to waste your money, okay? Sometimes you make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the lettuce is not fresh neither. What about France Godina? Because that's at plus. If you're at plus 2,000 in this race, again, you have not got a great chance.
Listen, shippers don't generally do well in our Triple Crown races. It's just not a historically positive trend. This horse also, I don't know if you saw in the workout yesterday, tossed the rider, took a tumble. That's not a great sign for a grade 1 race coming up on Saturday. There's always a little bit of mystery surrounding the shippers that come in, and some people will fall in love with it. It just doesn't translate that often.
But it's not coming from like Andre Fabre or Aidan O'Brien, or do you know what I mean?
Correct. If you're bringing over a horse like you just mentioned from Aidan O'Brien, different.
Or John Gosden.
Yeah, we're bringing over a horse here from Japan, and I'm sorry, but it almost never translates. So this horse for me is a toss.
Okay, and now this one has caught my eye just a little bit, but not in the win market. But Unbridled Honor at plus 15. I think that there's horses like less than him that should be more than him.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that this horse is probably middle of the pack here, and legitimately upper middle of the pack. So if you're tries, supers, yes, this horse could easily finish third, wouldn't surprise me.
But you would have to wait a little bit after the first two across the line to see if you got third.
Listen, I firmly believe it's going to be a distance between second and third here.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, congratulations to both of us for saying that the first 3 or 4 in the Derby would be covered by less than 2 lengths, by the way.
Right.
That was about the only thing I actually got right, because my boys were dead after 100 yards because they got crushed on the post position. But hey, that's what happens when you do a show 5 days early, and obviously 3 days earlier than the post positions comes out. Then we've got Risk Taking coming out at 9 plus 1,500. There's worse 1,500s again if you're going to stick him in a super or in the try.
Okay, I don't think this horse can win the race, but I do like this horse. I think that if you go back 2 races and look at the Withers at Aqueduct, when this horse won, he was 6 wide on the turn, made a very nice move down the stretch to pick up the pieces and get the win. Did not run well in the wood, but if you watch that race again, he was 5 or 6 wide the entire way around the racetrack. I mean, he had a very, very poor trip. In a field with 10 horses here, he's not going to get that bad of a trip. So I think that this is my favorite of the Chad Brown horses. And if you were looking to play a trifecta here, honestly, take $50. Just go Concert Tour over Medina Spirit, over Midnight Bourbon, Risk Taking in third, and you're probably covered.
Yeah, I fancy you've probably got. I fancy you've got the winner. And I think I'm not having Medina Spirit until I see him actually going down to post.
Contingent on the horse making it to the race.
Exactly. In which case, I think the Concert Tour goes odds on. Do you know that? I'm going to go that. I think it's like minus 110 if there's no, maybe even minus 125 if there's no Medina Spirit. I think it's a point, and just go and collect.
And that's where we're at now as Concert Tour. So I mean, we might as well just say it. This horse is the class of this field by a considerable margin. The only way I could see this horse not winning is if Baffert, and this isn't anything nefarious, trainers do this when they have multiple horses. There's strategy involved. Sometimes you want to use one horse as kind of a blocker for the other one. I don't think that's the case here, because I think everyone knows, including certainly Bob Baffert, the Concert Tour is the more talented horse. So I think that this horse is just head and shoulders above everybody else in this field and wins this thing going away. I just simply don't see a scenario where he loses.
No, not me. And obviously, as everyone knows, I have a connection with the Baffert horses from long ago, and they tell me that Concert Tour wins. So again, unless some kind of mishap, I'm not going to. They didn't think that about Medina Spirit, by the way. Hence the reason it went 16s, and obviously it won at 12s. But for me, anything around the plus 200 prior to what's going to go on tomorrow, then I can only be with Concert Tour. So, I mean, we can wrap this up. It's Concert Tour or nothing if you're playing the win market. And that's right, isn't it?
Yes, I couldn't agree more. It would not surprise me to see Concert Tour go off as the favorite in this race, even if Medina Spirit's in it. I think Concert Tour is going to take a huge chunk of the money because anybody with a set of eyeballs that watches this sport knows this is clearly the class of this field. It's not close.
No, without a doubt, and that's it. I mean, listen, we can tell you, and you'll play this back, and you'll see some of the horses that may run into. If you're going to have your little $2 each way, then go and get your, I don't know, plus 1,000 a place on something that's drifted out to plus 5,000. But if you're playing the win market, there's only one horse that you can be serious about. It doesn't come around this often, and if it plays out, we're all going to look like absolute geniuses.
I mean, listen, we're either geniuses or we're idiots, but I can just tell you what I see with my eyeballs.
No, it's true. It's true.
This horse I thought this horse was a monster 3 months ago. I've seen very little to change my mind on that. And this field is a underwhelming field, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I would have liked Concert Tour in the Kentucky Derby. I love him in the Preakness.
Yeah, I'm still kicking myself that No Agenda's not here, nor's Rock the World, because I fancy I could have gone 1, 2, and 3 and not worried about it. And I would have just laid back, put my feet up, smoked the cigar, and just watched the 3 of them come clear. And I know, but obviously 2 of them didn't bother, which again baffles me. Anyway, listen, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that I can notify you in advance that we think that Concert Tour is going to win the Preakness this week. Pimlico in Baltimore. Also press the link in the description and take over to articles written by every single, I don't know, expert, I would say. Go and have a look at the horses. I'm interested to read if anybody doesn't fancy Concert Tour. Blackjack, as you're watching that horse, I know it's a bit of a weird thing asking a man to think about him, but just think about me when that horse comes down the straight, will you?
Cheers.
You take care, and we look forward to it. That's the Preakness Stakes, all ready to rock and roll on Saturday here on SBR. You take care.